Hey 64th Gear Jammers, I'm Logan, and obviously I'm not in Advantage Diecast's warehouse today. I'm out to see an LPG storage tank farm. You might not know this, but propane is a flammable gas. Well, duh. You probably use it to cook with and heat your home. Propane is highly flammable gas and comes in steel cylinders or tanks. The movement of any propane cylinder or tank is fully regulated under the Transportation of Dangerous Goods regulations, unless an exemption applies. The use of liquefied petroleum gas, as the shipping name implies, is intended for a variety of liquid petroleum gases. All compressed gas cylinders are considered dangerous because they contain gas under high pressure. The cylinder's valve can be easily damaged by falling or striking another object, something that could create a rocket out of an ordinary container. What is propane? How is it liquefied? And how is it transported? I think it is important to mention a little about LPG propane. Propane is not made or manufactured. It is found naturally in a combination with other hydrocarbons. Propane has a boiling point of negative 42 degrees centigrade. In its liquid state, it has a temperature of negative 188 degrees centigrade, or negative 306.4 degrees Fahrenheit. Brrr, that's really cold. Propane expands to 270 times the volume when it goes from liquid to gas. So 1 liter of liquid propane will expand to 270 liters of gaseous propane. That's really a lot of gas. Further, in its gaseous state, propane is heavier than air and will tend to hug the ground. Propane is transported in a liquid state under strict regulations. Unlike natural gas, which is delivered via a pipeline, propane is transported under pressure by tank car, tanker ship, transport truck, and local delivery trucks that are known as bobtails. The common size of a propane transport truck trailer is approximately 11,000 gallons, and the bobtail is typically around 5,000 gallons. Propane delivery trucks are used to supply local propane dealers that do not have access to tank car unloading, or to individual homeowners, primarily in rural areas that use propane for heating and cooking due to the absence of a natural gas pipeline in their area. If propane is to be transported on a road vehicle, the vehicle must be identified as a shipper of liquefied petroleum gas, and the shipping document must have the name propane in parentheses on it with the following words: liquefied petroleum gas. The truck must also display a DOT hazmat placard having the number 1075 plainly on the vehicle. Because of its extreme cold, LPG must be stored and transported in insulated tanks. There are many other regulations about the movement of liquefied petroleum gas, as well as other liquid gases of any kind. Propane tanks may also be called propane gas bottles, LPG bottle, LPG gas cylinders, or just gas bottles. With this background information, let's go on and talk about the LPG gas bottle on a trailer built by the Mississippi Tank Company. The Mississippi Tank Company was founded in 1945. It is the world leader in the manufacture of LPG trailers and bobtails. They construct the LPG trailers under the ASME and U.S. Department of Transportation MC-331 codes. They make LPG bobtails up to 6,000 gallon capacity, trailers up to 19,000 gallon capacity, and LPG storage tanks up to 120,000 gallon capacity.
Isn't this sharp, guys? Look at these two beautiful Peterbilt 389s with 63-inch flat top sleepers with the Mississippi pressure tank trailer for Acord Transportation of Chandler, Oklahoma. One of them has the propane hazmat placards and the other has anhydrous hazmat placards. And we'll go on and do both of them because the only difference is the colors and the graphics. The trucks and trailers are the same though. Now, the first one is 60-0690, and it is the blue truck. Isn't that sharp? Go on and open him up. I also forgot to mention that them trailers are the spread axle type trailers. Comes in your standard DCP box with two-piece blister that is normally taped together. And I have gone on and cut that tape just so that it save a little time in opening them up. Set trailer out and then set the tractor out. Quick little note about these. Turn it around so you can really see it. Not only does it come with an extra set of mirrors here, it comes with a blue fifth wheel cover to set over your fifth wheel plate if you wanted to make this as a show truck. It's a nice little option that DCP came up with, is those nice fifth wheel covers. Now let's go in and get the other guy and get him out. Same thing, two-piece interior blister. It's got the mural in the back and the standard box. And the red one is 60-0691 for its item number. They do a great job on their packaging. It pretty much shows the truck very well in the box, and even better if you take them out. Has the two-piece blister that I've already gone on and cut open. Normally it would be taped, but I've taken care of that. Set the trailer out, set the tractor out. And just like the other one, it has the fifth wheel cover and the extra set of mirrors in there. It's even easier to see this one because of the red color. And then you can also see it has Acord Transportation on the fifth wheel cover. That's pretty cool. Set the red one to the back and we'll start with the blue one. And then we'll do the trailers together. Everything's the same except for the actual graphics. This is the Mississippi LP pressure tanker, and it's good for any pressurized gas, but everything that DCP so far has done has been either propane, which is 1075, or anhydrous, which is 1005 on your hazmat placards. It has pipes here, has control valves underneath, 10-hole chrome wheels in a spread axle configuration. They've got soft rubber tires on each wheel, and they've got these nice, neat, cool looking little chrome fenders over top of the wheels. That's pretty nice and pretty sharp. You can see the hazmat placard there says 1075. You can read it says Acord Transportation, Chandler, Oklahoma. There is a trailer number on the back corner. Now this trailer, as you can see, is one big milled piece, and then they cap the end on. It's a shame they didn't do a better job with that seam, but they made the trailer hollow that way. It's got standard kingpin for DCP trailers. On the landing gear, there is no crank, but there is a little warning there. Landing gear is your standard screw down type. Turning them underneath, you can see it has working suspension on each axle, little air brake canisters, spread configuration. You can see the bottom of the valves and the hookups. It's got the square feet for the landing gear. It has the date of manufacture mounted right behind, tampoed right behind the kingpin of 34719. So this was made on the 347th day of 2019, right at the end of last year. Round to the back, you can see the chrome fenders. It's got little be black painted for the mud flaps with the diamond weights on the bottom. DOT striping on the bumper. It has information about Acord transportation there. It says this vehicle stops at all railroad crossings, and it's got the railroad crossing crossbucks there. It has brake lights, 2 on each side on this bracket. There is a fire extinguisher there, a little warning label tampoed there, another hazmat placard, and Acord Transportation, Chandler, Oklahoma. Then you have this big piece that has lots of bolts on it, and that's where the entrance and egress into the trailer so they could clean it out, I guess. It also has little reflectors there and 3 required roof clearance lights up top, and then you can see the trailer number right there. Around to the passenger side, it looks much like the other side, only here you find the crank for the landing gear, and you find more hookups. You can see the way they hook up for the hoses. Another hose carrier, another pressure gauge, another pressure gauge. Up top, just a silver top of the tank. Pretty nice. Around to the front, and you can see it's got the Acord transportation, trailer numbers, and another hazmat placard. They don't want you to miss that this is a propane hauler. Now let's set that down, and to do that we would normally screw the landing gear down, but I've already done that. And then let's pick up the other trailer. As I said, it's basically the same except for the graphics on it. You can see the other one had the blue bottom with a silver top. This one has a red bottom with a silver top. And the graphics for Acord is a little bit different than the other one. It's in the red with the black outline, where the other was in the blue, black, and white outline. Just a little bit different styling. Also, the other had a stripe, and this one doesn't. Another big difference is this is set up for anhydrous ammonia, and you can see it's hauling with its non-flammable hazmat placard of 1005. Trailer number is down here instead of up on the back of the trailer like corners like the other one, 7239. Round to the back, it also says this vehicle stops at all railroad crossings. Easier to read on this one. Another hazmat placard, all the same details. Get over here and you can see the only real difference is the graphics and the paint. Underneath, same thing. The date is also 3/47/19, so 347th day of 2019. Makes sense that these would have gone down the assembly line on the same day. Now, something I didn't notice on the other one, it has a bunch of warning labels tampoed right there. They are hard to see because it's hard to get light there, but they're there. And on the front, again, it says anhydrous ammonia this time, Acord transportation, and 1005 on the hazmat placard. There we go. It says anhydrous ammonia, Acord transportation, Chandler, Oklahoma, and it has the hazmat placard non-flammable of 1005, which is anhydrous ammonia. Now we'll set this to the back. And since I talked about the blue trailer in detail, let's talk about the red truck in detail, and then we'll get over to the other one because they're basically the same. There's a few tiny differences, but not much besides the paint. All right, this is the Peterbilt 389. It has full show fenders on the back, has a black fifth wheel, 10-hole chrome wheels with red center caps on the front and the rear. It also has soft rubber tires with a working suspension system. Fuel tank is red with chrome bands. It has the Unibilt tampo right there on the sleeper. Ring around the door, and the handle and vent is tampoed in silver on the red door. Acord transportation is written down on the battery boxes instead of up on the door. And it also has its US DOT number down there. It has a truck number right there behind the fender up on the hood, and it says that this one is 469. The chrome breather is painted red with chrome bands on it. Really nice. Has chrome mirror, chrome flat cut straight stacks on it. It has the silver ring painted around the door and around the windows. The front there are no side windows, but the front window is hard clear plastic. Also, it is a 389. You can see the Peterbilt tampo right there. Now we'll turn around to the front. It has that big V drop visor, which means you really can't see much out of it. Also, there is the standard Peterbilt 389 front grille and arrow style headlights. Top center of that grille, it does have the Peterbilt logo, and you got to see this great big Texas drop bumper in chrome. Top of the hood, there's also the grab bar, which is also the center line, and marker for the driver, which is just a nice handle that you can pull that hood open with. Turn around to the passenger side, very much the same as the driver's side. Logos down on the battery box, air tanks there, truck number, air cleaner, mirrors, and the stacks. Now 389s, the mirrors are mounted to the cab frame instead of the door, so they stay put when you open the doors. Also, at the back of each front fender, you can see it's got a little black mud flap hanging down. And being the 389, it has the little door window down low so the driver can see what's beside him. Turning him around to the back, you can see it has a chrome deck plate that goes from the sleeper all the way to the back and a black fifth wheel on it. There's a chrome pogo stick with air lines and brake lines on it and electric lines. You got 4 work lights on the back of the sleeper, your reflectors, corner reflectors there, and it has a window so you can see all the way through the sleeper out the front of the truck. Brake lights are here. They didn't really do anything special for them because they're the same color as the rest of the truck, so they just didn't bother to paint them. It has little mud flaps front and rear on these double hump show fenders, and they are not chrome plated. They're just painted black with the little diamond being painted in silver because they didn't chrome plate the actual fender. Hopping underneath, you can see this is the long frame and that long drive shaft from the transmission to the first axle, little short drive shaft to the second axle, working suspension, air brake canisters on each rear axle, front suspension is there, detail, and it has positionable steering. Not true steering position, it's positionable. And you can see the engine underneath is red, the transmission is gray, and you can see the exhaust pipe coming from the engine going into the dual upper stacks. Pretty cool. Up top, you can see that chrome deck plate. It's got just the standard 5 roof lights. They're silver bases and orange paint tampoed on top to make it look like it's got amber lenses. The tops of the stacks are tampoed black, so it looks like they are actual exhaust stacks. And this truck does come with an opening hood to reveal a detailed Cummins engine. You can see the charge air piping from the air intakes over to the turbocharger, and you can also see radiator hoses going from there to there. Turn around, you can see the other side of that engine, and there it is. And that's the red tractor, which goes with the red trailer. Now, as I said, the blue tractor is almost the same. There are some teeny tiny differences, but not much. One of the big differences is this one has curved out stacks at the top straight instead of the flat cuts. The fifth wheel is chrome plated instead of black, and the visor is just chrome plated, and it's just more of the standard 389 visor instead of a big drop visor. The rest of the detail is the same. The rest of the parts are the same. It's got your double hump fenders. Acord is up here on the sleeper with its US DOT numbers instead of on the battery box. And this battery box and air tank is chrome instead of painted. The fuel tank is chrome with blue bands instead of painted with chrome bands. as is the breather. Truck number is there of 486. And then we turn it around to the front. You can see the grill is right there. Yikes. And up top you can see that visor is different, and you can also see how the exhaust stacks are different. Same chrome drop bumper. Passenger side, same thing, just the different graphics. Round to the back, and you can see the chrome fifth wheel, the chrome deck plate, the pogo stick with the air and electric lines. This time, though, they did tampo red on for the brake light since the body is blue. Underneath, that beautiful blue frame with all the same details as the other one. Same positionable steering and everything. Pretty much it's just the same except for the color, the visor, the stacks, and the fifth wheel. Everything else is the same. Now let's go on and hook these guys up. To do that, I need to screw the landing gear up. Pretty easy to do that. Just a couple of twists on each piece and they go right up. Easy peasy. And then we'll hook this guy up and we'll get that other trailer out of the way so we can see the blue one all together. Isn't that sharp? The blue with the blue lettering on the trailer, the blue bottom. Acord runs a really, really nice fleet. Now we'll go on and move that aside so we can look at the red one. And I've already, on the red one, taken and put the landing gear up so we don't have to take time to do that. Here we go. And there is the red one. Isn't that sharp as well? It's hard to tell which one of these trucks I like the best. But, let's see. Let's put them side by side and why don't you guys tell me which one you like the best? The blue or the red? Again, they're very, very similar, but you can see the visor difference when they're sitting side by side. You can also see the different stacks. And that is the two Peterbilt 389s with Mississippi LP and Hydrous tanker trailers for Acord Transportation of Chandler, Oklahoma. The blue one is set up to haul propane, and the red one is set up to haul anhydrous. That's just the hazmat placards that are on them.
We have looked into LPG and propane in particular, how it is made, stored, used, and transported. If you use propane for cooking or heating your home, treat it with care. Remember, pressurized LPG propane bottles and tanks are to be considered potential rockets. They are safe if handled correctly, but if mishandled, well, I'll leave it at that. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. You can buy many DCP trucks on my website, farmtoysandmore.com, with only 252 of these trucks made. They are very, very limited, and each run sells out very quickly. I'm Logan, the 64th Gear Jammer Skeele, the founder of Advantage Diecast, asking you to help support this channel with the link in the description below to my Patreon account. And I will see you soon with another episode of Toy Talk.